Okey, selamat datang Puan Nur Zalina.
Terima kasih.
Daripada mana ya Puan?
BPL TV. Bahagian Pendidikan dan Latihan Teknikal Vocational.
Okey, mesti setengah nak sambung belajar ni ya? Belajar.
She's my friend, Dr.
Ya.
Okey lah.
Yes.
Bolehlah tanya nanti dengan Dr. Assunta.
Yes. Thanks Nurzalina for joining.
Yes. Proud of you, but I'm not as strong as you.
Apa nanti doktor akan bagi tips.
Alright. Okay, waiting for the tips.
No worries, dear. It's been such a long time.
Okey, selamat datang. Siapa ni? Sweet Sakura daripada? Kita tunggu 1 minit lagi ya. Sekejap lagi bagi dia tu. Sekejap lagi. Kita akan mulakan. Okey, selamat datang Puan Rosmawati.
Terima kasih.
Sama. Daripada mana Puan?
Saya dari PG Kampus Setamiran.
Oh, okey. Ni tengah cuti ke?
Tak.
Buat part time
Online.
Okeylah, kita boleh mula ya Dr. Hairul. Okey. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Selamat datang kepada semua peserta yang baru masuk yang kini berada di program webinar penyelidikan Prospen Institut Pendidikan Guru Institut Pendidikan Guru Kampus Ilmu Khas tahun 2021. Tajuk pada hari ini seperti mana yang tertera iaitu Biar, Diuji, Tetap, Cekal, Menjadikan PhD. Ia merupakan sesi perkongsian motivasi yang akan disampaikan oleh Dr. Assunta Carolina. Sebelum itu, mohon peserta menetapkan mod senyap sepanjang sesi berlangsung. Sesi soalan akan dibuka di akhir sesi selama 10 hingga 15 minit. Tetapi jika ada sebarang soalan yang ingin diajukan semasa sesi, bolehlah mengangkat tangan dan insyaAllah Dr. Assunta akan cuba membantu. Begitu juga dengan link kehadiran SPLKPM akan diberikan di akhir sesi dalam ruangan chatting. Okey, kita mulakan. Yang dihormati Puan Azlina binti Ahmad, Timbalan Pengarah IPG Kampus Ilmu Khas. Yang dikasihi Encik Abu Bakar bin Ahmad, Ketua Jabatan Pengembangan Profesionalisme Keguruan IPGKIK. Yang berusaha Dr. Zahia binti Haris selaku penyelaras Prospen IPGKIK. Yang berusaha penceramah kita Dr. Assunta Carolina yang diraikan semua peserta webinar penyelidikan Prospen IPGKIK. Dan seterusnya hadirin dan hadirat, saya Dr. Masitah Bt Taib, pensyarah daripada Jabatan Pendidikan Khas IPGKIK selaku moderator pada sesi ini. Akan bersama anda semua sehingga insyaAllah lah pukul 4 tu ya. Untuk makluman, selain kita menggunakan Google Meet, webinar ini juga boleh ditonton secara langsung di YouTube Live JPPK-IKPGKIK. Sebelum saya menyerahkan majlis kepada penceramah Dr. Assunta, izinkan saya membacakan serba sedikit biografi penceramah. Dr. Assunta Carolina merupakan pensyarah cemerlang Jabatan Bahasa IPGKIK. Beliau mempunyai kelulusan PhD iaitu Educational Linguistic daripada Victoria University Wellington, New Zealand dan merupakan recipient of the New Zealand International Doctoral Research Scholarship iaitu tajaan kerajaan asing. Penceramah juga memiliki sarjana TESOL daripada Universiti Malaya dan sarjana muda pendidikan TESOL daripada Universiti Malaya juga dengan Dr. Assunta juga pernah belajar di Maktab Perguruan Temenggong Ibrahim Johor. Yang berusaha Dr. Assunta memiliki kepakaran dalam researching methodologies, action research, TESOL dan inclusive education. Jadi, tanpa melengahkan masa, saya menjemput dan mempersilakan yang berusaha Dr. Assunta untuk menyampaikan sesi ceramah beliau. Silakan Dr. Assunta.
Okay, thank you Dr. Masitah. Okay, let me present first. Hang on. Oh, just a moment. I think my PowerPoint got shut off.
Okey. Dah
Boleh?
keluar.
Okay.
Dah.
Alright. Thank you very much. So Dr. Masitah, saya nampak screen saya punya PowerPoint saja. So kalau ada persoalan, you let me know, okay?
Okay.
Alright. Terima kasih kerana sudi menghadiri sesi saya. It's a perkongsian motivasi. So as you see, dia adalah perkongsian motivasi. Apa yang saya nak buat, I'm very comfortable dalam bahasa Inggeris, so I will use bilingual, English and Malay. So kita bersama-sama listen to my story and mungkin ini akan memotivasikan anda untuk teruskan PhD. Okay? Baik, ini adalah the road taken. The road taken. You know, kita ada Robert Frost yang tulis one poem, The Road Not Taken, yang tidak dilalui. But mine is the road taken. Dan saya akan bincang tentang my excitingly tough PhD journey. Sesiapa yang dah habis PhD atau sedang buat PhD akan agree dengan saya bahawa it is exciting, memang exciting, tetapi it is really, really tough. Dan latar belakang ini adalah universiti saya. Saya punya thesis di bawah dua sekolah. One is School of Education, Calburn campus yang saya pakai baju merah, and the other blue one is the Karori campus. So I'm going to share with you. Saya akan share my story about what happened to me semasa PhD journey. Okay, so ada dua bahagian dalam PhD journey saya. Satu ialah yang di atas my graduation. Pada tahun 2011, exactly 10 years. Okay, dan di bawah adalah saya telah while halfway semasa study, saya telah didiagnose dengan kanser payudara. So di atas adalah family dengan my two supervisors, dengan kawan-kawan semasa my graduation. Di bawah adalah yang lelaki itu adalah doktor saya, yang lain semua adalah cancer survivor seperti saya dan ibu saya di tepi. So every time we go for check-up, ibu saya akan ikut saya. So my story got two parts. While doing PhD, saya telah didiagnose dengan kanser payudara. Saya kena kembali ke Malaysia untuk buat rawatan dan selepas itu balik semula ke New Zealand untuk tamatkan pengajian saya. Alright, so saya hanya ada 2 slide because I'm so passionate tentang saya punya thesis. My thesis is mediating worlds. Kenapa L itu dalam kurungan? Because it's talking about the word, W-O-R-D, dan world, W-O-R-L-D. masa itu yang kita buat sistem sistem ITEMS, English for the teaching of maths and science. So masa itu polisi English diguna untuk mengajar matematik dan sains berlaku pada masa itu, dan saya buat kajian tentang teaching a language of mathematics in English. Saya adalah guru bahasa Inggeris. Saya mengajar bahasa Inggeris. So tetapi saya mengajar teaching and learning of English. Tak pernah kami buat kajian tentang teaching and learning of mathematics in English. Teaching and learning of English lain daripada in English. So ini adalah my thesis and I. It's a journey of discovery. Yang apa yang saya dapat daripada kajian saya ialah the two worlds. So kalau you nampak di sini, the world of English, the world of maths, the world of academic and the world of social. Dia macam struggle dalam classroom kita semasa policy system ITEMS berlaku. Then ada uneasy coexistence of academic and social work. Ini very exciting. Apa yang pelajar sebut, apa yang pelajar tidak sebut, pandangan guru, semua tu ada impact di dalam semasa mengajar matematik dalam bahasa Inggeris. Dan insight saya dapat pandangan lebih tentang socio-historic dan socio-cultural forces. So semasa itu apa yang berlaku at the grassroots level di dalam classroom apabila kita implement, kita buat polisi ini mengajar matematik dan sains dalam bahasa Inggeris. But tajuk hari ini saya adalah bukan tentang thesis saya, tetapi my journey buat PhD. So saya telah labelkan sebagai thrilling take off untuk buat journey PhD. So bila saya dapat scholarship ini, saya memang sangat excited nak. First of all, saya tak pernah sambung belajar di luar negara. So this was very exciting for me. So my family, friends, everybody send me off. Dan apabila saya sampai di university, kami sebagai postgraduate student telah diberikan bilik khas di dalam office, tetapi bilik khas. So dalam bilik saya 2 orang. Saya share bilik saya dengan seorang lagi student daripada negara India yang also buat PhD. So ini adalah my workstation. So if you nampak, it's very important. Those of you who are doing PhD di rumah ke, di office ke, kita mesti ada satu workstation di mana kita boleh tinggalkan kerja kita dan datang balik dan sambung. Because seperti mana yang semasa saya menghadiri all the talks di university, saya menghadiri both School of Linguistics and also School of Education, dua fakulti yang berlainan. So apabila saya menghadiri all the talks, apa yang mereka kata, apa yang dinasihatkan kepada kami apabila kami mulakan.
Dr. Assunta sekejap. Dr. Hairul ada apa ke?
Hello, selamat petang. Sebab tadi kita boleh interrupt kan?
Yes.
Dr. Assunta,
Ya.
I sangat teruja di University of Wellington tu memang disediakan satu PG, postgraduate student, dengan satu bilik untuk belajar ke macam mana?
Yes. So apa yang mereka buat, Dr. Hairul, untuk postgraduate student yang buat masters dengan thesis and PhD, because di sana ada PhD saja, no EDD. Mereka akan dapat satu bilik. So seperti mana saya sangat lucky because bilik saya kecil, 2 orang saja share. Tapi kalau bilik yang lebih besar mungkin 3 orang, tapi 4 orang, tetapi itu adalah bilik khas 24 jam akses kepada PhD student. Di dalam bilik itu, ruangan bilik itu, office tu, so kita punya bilik adalah selang-seli. Bilik postgrad, bilik pensyarah, bilik postgrad. So kita sama-sama macam satu family in that place. So dia tak asingkan, oh you postgrad student, you block lain, you pensyarah, you block lain. Tak ada. We are together. So sometimes bila kita tak just pick the supervisor brain, kita juga berkenalan dengan pensyarah lain, so we discuss about our work. So it makes it so much easier to have a lot of talk. So di mana-mana faculty yang pergi dekat university saya, they give you dedicated space for PhD student dengan internet services 24 hours, and printing services. So
Wow.
all your computers, they give you a desktop. Then the nurse will come and adjust the height of the desktop for you. Lepas itu, they kata, okay, selamat belajar. And your laptops, your computers are all linked to the photocopier, color photocopier, black and white. Every month disediakan the paper, A4 paper dihantar. And then we have a pantry area. Dia akan hantar milk, Milo, biscuits, coffee powder. Everything is there. They just want you to enjoy the atmosphere. So maknanya kalau kita nak buat PhD, it's not just kita sahaja, they form for you a whole community of learner. Jadi macam family together. So they also give you the basic things like coffee and all that. But most importantly, you have the luxury of printing and reading and editing and all that. So they make it, and you are not put asing. You are together with the lecturers. So that was one of the beauty. So this is two to a room. So this is my side of the room. So if you nampak, we already have bookshelves, we have table, we have a computer table. So you make it your home. So I spend a lot of time here. So kita ada 24 jam access to this university workspace. So you can go in and come out bila-bila masa sahaja 24/7.
Macam macam kami di Malaysia ni, macam example macam di UTM, kita ada bilik postgraduate studies tu, cuma dia macam library lah, luas besar kan, and then kita share ramai-ramai. So dia rasa dekat Wellington nampak dia, yelah dia punya negara pun nampak up sikit daripada kita kan. Okay, thank you Doktor.
Alright, no problem Dr. Hairul. Yeah, so I found this good because I made friends dekat, a lot of people from other countries, from other departments. So everybody was doing different studies. So it was interesting because sometimes in the evening we have once a month get together tea time. So everybody sit down and talk about their progress. Saya di sini, saya di situ, berapa banyak yang kita telah buat. I think the important thing was talk. So apa yang berlaku di sini bila kita pergi, within 1 month they provide the space for you. Actually I got mine by 1 week already. Saya telah dapat. Yang paling penting yang kita diberi briefing apabila kita mulakan study ialah don't delay your work. Jangan tinggalkan kerja awak selama 2 hari. Don't, after 2 days, if you're not back at your table working, something is wrong. So don't even leave it for 2 days. But saya terpaksa tinggalkan my study for 22 bulan. So don't worry. Even if you get some delay in the way, you can finish it. Apa yang penting ialah constant and consistent work. Kalau kita nak constant and consistent work, find a space in your home ataupun office. Dapatkan satu meja. It's my dedicated PhD table. So the work is always there. Kita ada a bit of mood, we come and do. Alright, I remember sebelum saya pergi, this Dr. Hannah pilih dari ELTC told me, Assunta, when you go there, jangan sekali-sekali pergi just merayau saja. Every day make it a routine. Dari pukul 8 hingga pukul 5, you go and sit. Kalau hari itu you tak ada idea, tak apa, you sharpen your pencil. You arrange your file. Tetapi jangan tak pergi. Because once it become a habit, you tangguh, you cannot finish your study. So it's very important. Kena ada dedicated space supaya kita boleh pick up from where we stop. Kerja PhD ini adalah untuk 3 tahun, 4 tahun constantly di atas kepala kita. So we must be able to go back and pick up daripada mana kita stop. So go every day. Kalau kita dapat cuti belajar, itu bukan cuti, tapi itu adalah belajar. So you must understand that, your family must understand that it is not a holiday. So you must do consistent work. Like Dr. Hannah kata, go every day Assunta, clock in the same hours every day. Kalau hari ni you tak ada idea nak tulis, sometimes when you rearrange and you're thinking about it, it will help you. Okay? Alright. Then another thing that very important dekat yang saya belajar ialah meet your supervisors regularly. So saya ada 2 orang supervisor. So one is Dr. Elaine Wine daripada School of Linguistics and Applied Language, and one more is Dr. Joanna Higgins dari School of Primary and Secondary Teacher Education. So one is Faculty of Humanities, one is Faculty of Education. Saya ada 2 supervisor, 2 jabatan yang berlainan. Tetapi apa yang kita buat ialah once a month, sebulan sekali mesti jumpa. They make it a point. Assunta, we don't have to see you other time but once a month. Then once a month kita jumpa bukan dalam office, any of their office. So we pergi ke cafe in the university. So they will buy me coffee. I sometimes buy them coffee, but it's just coffee, tidbits, kacang-kacang, raisins, kita makan-makan, discuss. So this is very important. Meet your supervisors regularly. So saya hanya jumpa saya punya 2 pensyarah sebulan sekali. But saya ada banyak steps yang saya ambil sebelum saya jumpa mereka. Saya mesti hantar kepada mereka sekurang-kurangnya 3 hari sebelum saya jumpa mereka. So sebelum itu apa yang saya buat ialah saya duduk dalam office area yang ada ramai student. So sebelum saya nak buat something, I just brainstorm idea. Mereka tak tahu pun research saya, tetapi mereka tanya soalan yang sometimes pelik-pelik. But that is good because maknanya saya punya explanation, saya punya penulisan tak cukup jelas kerana mereka tak faham. Then what I also do is, later you will see saya ada walking partner. Walking partner ini adalah mereka yang pensyarah di sana because New Zealand cuaca dia sejuk, very nice to walk. So lunch hour mereka akan berjalan. So saya pun join mereka berjalan. Apabila naik saya jarang bercakap. Apabila turun baru saya bercakap because kita tak biasa jalan. But what do I talk? Kumpulan yang saya berjalan adalah pensyarah yang telah habis PhD, pensyarah yang sedang buat PhD, research assistants, so semua buat bidang-bidang lain. Tetapi kami bercakap, sometimes talk about one other research, sometimes talk about the other research, other person's research, and sometimes my own research. So saya pun macam brainstorm, tetapi all I'm just talking, talk about your work. But of course lah, sometimes bukan work saja kita discuss or thesis, kita juga gossip because got so many character in the university kan. So we also gossip. So it became like a good friendship. So I brainstorm idea dengan mereka. Then they say, I don't understand, why are you saying this, why are you saying that? So because mereka tak tahu kerja saya dengan mendalam. So the way I talk to them, but feedback yang saya dapat daripada rakan, the colleagues, PhD colleagues lain daripada feedback yang saya dapat daripada rakan-rakan yang saya berjalan. And then what I also do is there's 1 or 2 lecturers that they're also under educational linguistics. So they like about language and the study of language. So apa yang saya buat ialah saya selalu buat draft saya dan hantar kepada dia. Because there was 3 of us, Margaret Gleason, Caroline Tate dan saya yang hampir lebih kurang sama kita punya area, but bidang slightly different because one is doing on Chinese students, I was looking at Malaysia, and another one was looking at New Zealand context. But we all English teachers. So we brainstorm ideas. So saya hantar draft saya kepada dia. So dia kata, I'm not sure about this, not sure that. So that is already lebih kurang 3 weeks. Then I do all my corrections, make it clear dan hantar kepada 2 supervisor saya. So apabila kami berjumpa 1 month kemudian, apa yang mereka buat ialah they give me critical comment about the content. So dia tak check language, dia tak this one because I dah already do all the pruning, editing based on apa yang dia kata. So when I buat my write up, let's say each chapter saya buat, then ada benda yang saya tak faham, I will put in a different color font. I'm not sure about this. Do you have any reference for me? Can you help me to see how I can analyze the data? So then I continue my work. So mereka pun lebih sedar apa yang mereka nak. So sometimes when they come for meeting dengan saya about my thesis, apa yang mereka buat adalah, oh Assunta, you wrote about that question, so I brought you this book. Read this book and see. So that they can give me very good feedback. So apa yang sangat bagus was this, Always discuss your ideas. Check if you're on the right track. It doesn't matter kita bincang dengan orang yang don't know our research. The more they don't know, the more you have to explain. The more you explain, the clearer your writing becomes. And keep track of your progress. You cannot not meet your supervisors regularly. Very, very important. So once a month, and both my supervisors and I look forward to it because we try out all the different cafes in the university. All right, all the different cafes. So we get excited about it. We get excited talking about this because one is an English teacher, one is a maths lecturer. So there's always discussion about idea because mine is neither English nor maths. It's in between English and maths. So remember the thrilling takeoff. PhD is not a lonely journey. So number one, saya join banyak group discussion. Contohnya, saya telah listkan di sini. Ini adalah group discussion yang saya pergi. The walking and talking is different. That one is informal. This one is lebih formal. So saya join thesis discussion group. Dr. Janet Holmes, apa yang dia buat ialah dia panggil semua budak PhD ataupun masters. Dia sit down and every week one person will present. One person present. This is in the School of Linguistics. So she will be there. Sometimes Line Pensyarah will join, sometimes not, but she's always there. So this is where saya kena present that bit of data to the PhD students and to her. So banyak soalan yang saya dapat. Okay. And then also in the School of Linguistics and Applied Language, saya ada literature reading group. This is run by Dr. Meredith Nara. So apa yang mereka buat adalah mereka akan pilih satu buku, the latest buku, and everybody gets one chapter to read. Selepas baca satu chapter, kita kena buat ringkasan dalam satu page apa isi kandungan dan kita kena menilai whether that chapter is good or not good. So it helps you with the evaluation skill. Then bila we go for this reading group, everybody will present. So I tak payah baca the seluruh buku, but I already know the isi kandungan of the buku. I present that. Then everybody will get that one sheet of paper about that. What was good about this is, so saya banyak baca buku and each of us do one chapter. So kadang-kala buku yang dibaca bersama oleh yang telah dipilih oleh Dr. Meredith ini membantu thesis saya. So it's like a forced reading group that I went to, which was good. Dia tak paksa, but sometimes you need to have all this academic discourse. So saya joined these two group. Lepas itu di Sekolah Faculty of Education, kita ada PH cohort group by Professor Dr. Luana Myers. She was the PhD coordinator dekat Faculty of Education. So dia buat satu cohort group. So this cohort group also everybody, this one is students sahaja, tetapi all buat berbagai-bagai bidang, So when you present, you kena make sure your presentation is, understood by all people by different faculties. So that was also very good. And then we had this Esprit seminar. So if you notice, kita ada banyak avenue untuk kita try out our data. So apa yang buat? Kita analyze the data, kita bentangkan, kita dapat feedback, kita dapat kritikan, everything. So you go back, you sedar, oh, this bit of data, I need to see it this way or that way. Sometimes they give you suggestion. So misalnya, I told you my study, bukan English, bukan maths. I'm not a maths teacher, but I cannot apply my English on the maths teacher because the teacher is a maths content expert. Whereas I'm looking at the language in the maths classroom. So, saya ada in the School of Linguistics, the data yang sama, saya akan present the School of Linguistics untuk dapat feedback daripada all these linguists. What is that thing? Then they will tell me, Assunta, what ini? I remember reading this article, I will send it to you. I'll get a lot of feedback. Data yang sama, I come back to my Faculty of Education and I present to all the maths lecturers, maths PhD student. Then they look at me, untuk maths, we don't look at it that way. So I had to, dapat both sides. So my thesis had to be in a way answers the maths lecturers as well as the English lecturers. So that was good. it must not be a lonely journey. Join discussion groups. So what we did was we that was already created our data to present. Okay, done. Dapat visa pada kumpul was halfway doing data analysis. Beberapa the first 2 months saya hanya transcribe saja because mine is about classroom talk. So try transcribe saja. Banyak bila saya bentang orang tak faham this that. Finally bulan April like that I was like okay, can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Boleh. Saya punya analysis is going correctly. Saya punya visa nak tamat. So I have to sambung 1 more year. Because the study is 3 years, my visa was only 2 years. So when I went to the university clinic there, so when the doctor fill up, because I have to fill up the form, dia kena buat, physical examination. So they fill up the physical examination. She was, feeling my payudara, my breast. She said, you buat transplant ke? I said, no, I didn't do any transplant. Then she said, something strange. I'm going to refer you to the specialist. Saya akan rujuk awak kepada specialist. So bila I pergi ke specialist, because everything is under the university insurance, tak payah bayar anything, I went. So the doctor did the diagnosis dan saya dapat call seminggu kemudian, I'm sorry to say yours is advanced aggressive breast cancer. Please come in, I need to talk to you. Doctor itu just on the phone call. All right. So in April 2008, at the end of 2008, I had to stop my studies, suspend my studies because cara doktor itu kata, yours is very aggressive. We don't know why. And saya pun rasa pelik because 2 tahun sebelum itu, saya telah buat full complete medical examination sebelum saya pergi ke New Zealand. So kenapa pula saya dapat breast cancer? I don't have a history of breast cancer at all. No one in my family got breast cancer. So saya pun stop my studies and I returned to Malaysia. But apa yang very good about the community in New Zealand ialah, so my faculty of education, the Dr. Professor Luana Myers, they had a small farewell party before my flight the next day kan. So dia kata, Assunta, this is not the end of the world. We must see you here. Come back. We will keep your seat warm. So masa tu I cannot register anything because cara doktor itu cakap like, go back to Malaysia, you got no hope. Yours is terrible, you probably may not survive. Itu message yang saya dapat daripada doktor itu. So saya pun kembali ke Malaysia and I did my cancer treatment. Okay, saya punya ialah aggressive advanced breast cancer. So apa yang doktor nak buat pembedahan terus pun dia takut. So dia bagi saya 4 cycle chemotherapy, very intense. Setiap 2 minggu 4 cycle drug yang sangat kuat. Kerana sekarang saya punya breast cancer telah didiagnose bukan disebabkan oleh hormon, kerana breast cancer boleh disebabkan oleh hormon, tetapi saya punya negatif. Bukan disebabkan oleh antigen dalam badan saya, that means it's not hereditary. So saya adalah golongan yang ketiga, triple negative breast cancer. Maknanya dia tak tahu kenapa saya dapat. Apakah kesan yang menyebabkan, apakah punca saya punya kanser payudara. Doktor say, Assunta, you are unfortunate. You are in the category, dalam kategori 30% wanita di Malaysia yang dapat kanser payudara yang tak tahu apa punca dia. So maknanya Assunta, we have to give you aggressive chemotherapy dan radiotherapy. Selepas itu we hope and pray for the best. Kalau you are positive breast cancer by hormone, ada ubat untuk makan tamoxifen. Kalau antigen positive, you ada suntikan yang you kena ambil 17 kali untuk stop that thing from causing the cancer. Saya punya ialah triple negative. So I said, oh, is it? He said, yes, but don't worry, be positive. So saya pun mula rawatan saya. So that is me in my cool week. You know, saya dapat wig yang sangat cantik, everybody likes. And then saya buat treatment. Bila saya kembali ke Malaysia, saya pergi ke University Hospital, saya pergi ke General Hospital nak mulakan rawatan di sana. Tetapi patient mereka ramai. So Professor Yip di University Hospital advise me, Assunta, you ada medical card tak? Saya said, ada, small card. Assunta, you mula dulu kerana you punya adalah agresif. You tak boleh tunggu. You mula dulu tapi you register dengan University Hospital supaya bila card you dah tamat, you pindah saja kepada University Hospital. So saya mulakan treatment saya di Pantai Hospital and bulan itu saya mula rawatan April 2008 and this is Oktober 2008. Kita ada aktiviti bulan Pink October. Pink October is for cancer. Dan selepas itu saya selepas everything habis 2009 saya punya treatment semua habis 2009 January saya dah habis all my treatment. Then saya rasa the kesan of the cancer, of the drugs, chemo drugs. Saya jadi depression sikit and then saya dah mula takut. How come sebelum saya mula PhD, saya healthy, saya sihat. Semasa PhD, kita stres, kita gila puasa sikit, kita rasa takut and all that. Memang ada stres lah bila kita belajar kan. Adakah stres itu yang menyebabkan saya dapat cancer? So saya dah mula takut nak sambung belajar. So I say, what do I do? So kerana sebelum itu, I'm okay. I don't have family history. Apa sebab saya dapat cancer ini? When there's no reason medically kenapa saya dapat. Kerana stress. The doctor told me it's because of stress. So 2009 saya nak balik ke, tak nak balik ke, saya rasa takut. Ibu said, no need. My mother said, tak payah, you hidup sihat cukup. You tak payah, you cancel your study. Tapi saya nak juga balik. What do I do? So I pun bincang dengan my doctor. And then I wrote to my university. I said, I'm not ready. I'm still feeling depressed. This is kesan of the chemo drug. This is what it does to your hormone. Your hormone is no more in balance. It takes time. And saya punya ialah dose yang agresif kan. So the doctor said, never mind. You still got holiday. Professor Yip told me, you ada 2 tahun. Why are you so worried about going back or not going back? You just recover first. So my doctor said, okay Assunta, you join me. Kita nak mulakan kita punya Pink Ribbon Foundation. So apa yang saya buat ialah dengan bantuan dia saya mula menulis. Bukan menulis PhD, menulis surat, menulis media release, menulis surat jemputan, everything about Pink Ribbon because kita nak start the foundation. That was a good thing for me kerana saya dah mula balik saya punya menulis. So lama kelamaan saya punya rasa takut nak balik ke study also mula menurun. Okay, so we started our Reach to Recovery. That is for Pink Ribbon Sun. So this is the difficult detour. So ini ialah Pink October. If you notice, my mother is there dalam sari, and then saya pakai wig. Ada juga kawan yang the third one sitting there, dia tak kisah rambut dia botak, she doesn't mind. So here is me in the wig. That is my doctor. So this was our trip. The doctor got sponsored and took all of us for the first breast cancer forum in the world. Okay, this is the Reach to Recovery. Kita telah dibawa untuk conference di Brisbane kerana doktor dapat funding to share us. This was the place where I felt motivated and my takut untuk balik habiskan my PhD kurang. Because you jumpa so many people from all over the world who came for this breast cancer conference dan baru saya sedar actually Assunta, you are very lucky. Kenapa? Kita ada speakers yang datang daripada Afrika, daripada negara-negara yang like from India, not much emphasis. Macam di Afrika, lebih duit adalah untuk HIV. Dia kurang untuk breast cancer. So I saw a lot of cases where actually Assunta, you should be empowered. You should consider yourself lucky. Jangan fikir that you are unlucky, you dapat breast cancer. You must be positive. You must fight the breast cancer. Kerana saya sedar ramai orang di luar sana lagi teruk keadaan dia, and in Malaysia kita punya kesihatan, the ability to get treatment is actually good. So after this first breast conference, saya rasa empowered. So sekarang walaupun saya ada lagi lebih kurang 1 tahun untuk habiskan cuti sakit bara, I told them I'm feeling restless now. I nak kembali ke New Zealand and finish my study. I am motivated. I feel strong. So apa yang saya buat, saya pergi ke bahagian tajaan and I said I want to stop my cuti sakit bara. I want to go back. So I nak balik ke New Zealand nak habiskan my study. Tetapi bila saya buat all, they said okay, fill up this form semua, saya nak habiskan. So sementara itu dia hantar saya balik ke tempat asal saya bekerja sebelum saya pulang ke New Zealand. Kerana my study visa belum approve. All my readings still haywire because of the kesan of the chemo drug. My readings were all haywire. So New Zealand takut nak bagi saya balik. They don't want to give me the visa. So they say, wait, do this test, do this test. So I kena buat banyak lagi test to show that I am ready to go back. So then this is what we did. Kita buat wellness camp. This is all the pesakit cancer plus all the speakers. So apa yang doktor kami buat ialah bawa the nutritionist, bawa those who about exercise to brainwash us, because they said sekarang you tak boleh ikut gaya cara lama, you kena ikut gaya cara baru. So all this gave me the strength to carry on. So saya pun balik. January 2010 saya balik ke New Zealand. So I stopped my cuti sakit bara. I went back to work. Tunggu sehingga New Zealand approve my study leave dan saya pun balik ke New Zealand pada January 2010. Alright. Bila saya keluar daripada office saya, ini hill, bukit ini yang kita nampak, Wrights Hill. Wrights Hill. Ini ialah tempat yang kita pergi berjalan. Every lunch hour. So we have different groups of people coming. So you can walk there. So for me, it's like conquering Wrights Hill. Bila I jadi stress, especially after I go back selepas my cancer treatment semua, remember I got no medicine to take to stop whatever that's causing the cancer. So exercise, important, mind, sleep, everything is important. So I started going for my walks again. So we go up Wrights Hill, sama ada you boleh jalan dengan jalan raya ataupun through the bushes, and ini adalah pemandangan di dalam, and these are the people. Ada lagi banyak foto lagi I tak masukkan. Mereka yang motivate saya, carry on Assunta, don't stop, don't give up. Yes, it's difficult, stop, rest a while, but don't give up. Jangan quit. So this was, so bila I conquer the Wrights Hill, bila saya dah capai di atas, you tengok the pemandangan cantik, udara so nyaman. So I rasa my PhD study pun boleh conquer. Alright. So ini ialah bilik saya. Another thing that kept me going ialah, it's very simple but it was the apple tree. Ini bilik saya dan di tingkap, bila saya nampak di luar tingkap ada pokok apple. So bila saya mula kerja saya, saya bandingkan apple tree dengan saya punya. So ini ialah di luar, you nampak ini ialah musim luruh, so all the daun dah gugur. So outside the office, the tree is bare, that means kosong, tak ada daun. Saya duduk dalam office, saya punya thesis pun bare, kosong, tak ada apa benda. Then a few months saya tengok ada sikit-sikit hijau, daun dah nak keluar. Tetapi thesis saya belum lagi, masih kosong. Alamak, saya sudah stres. Okay, then saya nampak the apple tree macam motivate saya, it's growing and growing because it's going towards summer. Tapi saya punya thesis struggling, belum pun selesai lagi. And then daripada down saya mula lihat pink dots, bunga-bunga for the apple tree. And then my thesis also mula ada substance, content dia. So saya mula rasa, okay, the apple tree outside my window is motivating me. Alright? So the apple tree is growing fast. Apple tree kan dia tak ada sekat. It's growing fast. So boleh ke my thesis saya catch up? So the apple tree is motivating me. Saya nampak bunga and then it's just outside my window. Okay, so saya nampak ada flowers dekat pokok apple tree dan saya tengok saya punya thesis sekarang semakin mantap. Saya buat discourse analysis and the interaction. So saya punya lebih, it's growing. My thesis is also growing. And then November 2010, apple tree sudah ada apple. Tetapi saya punya thesis masih dalam bahagian, tahap blooming. That means ada bunga sahaja. So I say, come on Assunta, don't give up. The apple tree is motivating you. Okay, so apple, now I can see the bigger apple. Okay, is my chapters becoming thicker? I say grown. And New Zealand, Wellington, sangat kuat the wind there. So sometimes when I stress, I go and stand under the apple tree and I say, I need to take a break. So I take a break and hope that all the wind will blow ideas into my brain. Okay, and then now I'm holding the apple. Okay, I hope soon I can hold my thesis. And the last gambar, thank you apple tree. Ini ialah semasa saya hantar thesis saya pada bulan Jun dan May end dan saya kembali ke Malaysia untuk lapor diri. Pada bulan Ogos saya pergi untuk viva. So if you see me holding the buku, that is my examination copy yang saya hantar untuk viva. Only a bit of corrections. Dia bagi saya 3 minggu to do corrections. Phew, it's done. And now I come to the end of my journey. So it is like, it was friends there in New Zealand, friends in Malaysia praying for me, church members, PhD students, lecturers, everybody is motivating you. Of course, you have to motivate yourself. So I looked at the apple tree and I made myself motivated. So in New Zealand, when it is your graduation time, so that whole week, they will have morning tea. They meet. So this is my graduation morning tea in the Faculty or School of Linguistics, and this is the next day at the School of Primary and Teacher Education. So they call it the graduation morning tea because it's slightly different. Then we have graduation parade. In New Zealand, especially in Wellington, apa yang dia akan buat ialah there's 2 universities there, Massey and Victoria University of Wellington. So if it's graduation time, they will block the road. So kita akan mula berjalan. So everybody from the shops kiri kanan akan keluar dan tepuk tangan. Yay, you are doing your, you have completed your study. So it starts with the band playing and then we go school by school. So this is the band playing and that is my Faculty of Education. I'm there walking with my friends. That's my niece. I brought my mother, my niece and my 2 sisters for graduation. Okay. And then this is the graduation ceremony. It's in the Civic Center there, all right? And then that is my niece helping me with the graduation. This is with my family and my 2 supervisors, the graduation ceremony. Now the graduation ceremony di sana lain
Datuk Assunta,
ya?
sekejap ada Nur Diana nak bertanya soalan. Silakan Nur Diana.
Boleh? Yes, Nur Diana.
Mana tadi? Nampak tadi dia raise hand.
Sorry, tertekan tadi. Sorry.
Oh, tertekan.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
No
Okay,
problem.
teruskan.
Okay, what is so nice about this graduation ceremony? Very different. Mula-mula kita masuk ke dalam dewan itu, kita kena duduk di bawah. So dia mulakan dengan performance haka, then the soprano singing. Lepas itu dia akan call. For PhD student, dia akan panggil the person on top and then they will read apakah thesis dia, dan selepas itu dia akan bagi you your, you know, the topi yang kita pakai tu, and then they give you your scroll, and then you tak turun balik dan duduk, no, you go up from the stage, you go up and sit among the lecturers. So they macam iktiraf you. Now you are a member of our family of PhD holders, professors, associate professors. So you don't go and sit down back. So from down you go up, they read to you, and then they give you your scroll. All the lecturers who are sitting there will stand up and clap for you, and then you go and sit with them, with all the other lecturers. So slightly different. What was different? The graduation parade was different, and the way they treat you. You are now our family member. You are a PhD holder. So it was very inspiring for me, you know, to go back, to finish it, because I've seen my friends, I went for their graduation ceremony. I know this is what they do, and I wanted it for myself. So I motivated myself. It can be done. Okay? So 15 years later, and this is my excitingly tough PhD journey conquered. This is in 2011 with my family. This is 2019 where we had pink ribbon walk in my college. I actually wanted to wear the pink wig to talk to you all, but it is in the tempat kerja. Okay, so I cannot wear it today. Otherwise, I would have worn my pink wig and talked to you. And this is my department, 2020. My TESOL department in Ilmu Khas. Okay, and this is 15 years later. These are some of my colleagues when we had our Raya Do, and this is me. I am now very actively involved in my Pink Ribbon Society, because the Pink Ribbon Society gave me so much of motivation, gave me the strength, gave me the knowledge on how to take care of myself despite cancer, how to live life beyond cancer, that I can go back and finish up my PhD. So this is 15 years later. We have lots of activities, but because of MCO, we don't have that. Okay, this is my difficult detour. You know, a little detour was also conquered. So everybody here except the two men, the one who's sitting is my breast surgeon. I had to do a mastectomy. That means my cancer payudara was so big and so deep and aggressive, they had to buang the whole payudara. They said, it's okay, you can do a reconstruction later. So, and the man who's standing there is Dr. Ibrahim. He's an oncologist. So they founded our breast cancer foundation. Everybody else there, all the wanita are all survivors. Like this lady is Puan Sri Manisi. She was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 68. Now she's same age as my mother. She is 77 this year. Very motivating in our Pink Ribbon Society. Every single person here, Datin Mawan, who's wearing the tudung, is also 77. She was a lecturer before in Ilmu Khas. She's a survivor. She also joins us in all our activities for Pink Ribbon. So the difficult detour of the cancer journey was also conquered. Why? You must not give up hope. You know, as long as you have hope, yes, you must rest. And when you rest, you have all your friends and family members, PhD supervisors, TC students to help you move forward. Don't quit. Okay? Thank you very much for listening to my story.
Okey, terima kasih Yang Berusaha Dr. Assunta di atas perkongsian pengalaman yang saya pun baru tahu Dr. Assunta pengidap kanser. Terima kasih di atas pengalaman, dan saya sangat salute lah di atas ketabahan doktor diuji dengan sakit, sedang buat PhD yang pada asalnya normal. Tapi dalam perjalanan itu, dalam perjalanan PhD diuji yang sangat berat, so tahniah lah saya ucapkan kerana dengan Apple itu
Yes.
telah memberi satu kekuatan sebenarnya
Yes.
bukan pokok Apple tu saja, sebenarnya surrounding dia lah, daripada rakan-rakan, saya rasa community,
The whole community of learner, betul.
persekitaran pembelajaran dia tu yang sangat membantu, dan di samping itu juga pokok apple tu yang mungkin ada menyebabkan dia tertarik lah, yang boleh memberi
Yes.
inspire padanya.
Hmm.
Okey, terima kasih di atas pengalaman penjelasan yang jelas tadi. Okey, untuk itu kita bukalah kepada peserta sekiranya ada ingin bertanya berkaitan dengan contohnya macam tajuk yang unik tadi tu ke? Tajuk tesis, bagaimana doktor boleh cope balik dengan tajuk. Saya rasa saya baca tajuk tu pun agak complicated. Okey, silakan saya buka kepada sesi Q&A, silakan.
And Dr. Masitah, if I can add, anybody has got any stories that you want to share, your success stories or your struggling stories, remember, as long as we, motivate each other and motivate yourself, you can reach success. Kita mesti boleh. So anybody wants to share story pun boleh, Dr. Masitah?
Ya, lagi-lagi dalam sekarang ni COVID, saya rasa ramai di kalangan peserta yang menghadapi cabaran, susah nak jumpa, yelah, bila kita tak jumpa dengan penyelia dalam keadaan macam gini, dia menyebabkan satu cabaran. Bila nak Google Meet, masing-masing ada cabaran. Bolehlah kongsikan kalau ingin bertanya pun, silakan, especially kalau nak berkaitan dengan tajuk ke, saya tak dapat bayangkan bagaimana nak baca tu interesting. Nanti saya akan jumpa Dr. Assunta untuk baca tajuk tesis dia tu.
Okay.
Maths tak maths, bahasa tak bahasa
Betul. I think there's a question from Dr. Rosmawati Muhammad. She says, Doctor, apa elemen bahasa dalam matematik and Dr. kaji? This is a good question. Maybe I can tell you a little bit about my thesis. You see, semasa saya pergi buat PhD tu, saya pergi dengan idea yang besar. Saya nak buat both mathematics dengan science kerana ini ialah ETEMS, English for the teaching of maths and science. So bila saya pergi bincang dengan my supervisor and all that, go for a lot of talks, they said, okay, never mind. It's too wide. Assunta, why don't you just look at maths saja? So I look at maths saja. Tapi bila I baca a lot of things about the maths, I said, but I am not a maths teacher. I'm not talking about the teaching and learning of mathematics. I nak kaji hanya English in the mathematics classroom. So then when I discussed with the scholar linguistics, they said, yeah, Assunta, you want to look at language. Tetapi you cannot impose your English language on the mathematics teacher because the mathematics teacher belajar matematik in Malay, dia ditrain mengajar matematik in Malay dan dia sedang mengajar in Malay, tiba-tiba sistem ITEMS policy. So kalau you buat macam study macam tu, dia akan jadi bias. So apa yang saya buat ialah, mine ialah intertwine. Dia macam dua study intertwine. Saya look at classroom interaction. I look at teacher talk in the classroom. So bila saya look at teacher talk, saya lihat, saya have to analyse dari segi linguistik and also dari segi pengajaran matematik. So saya kena, that's why I need to go for the group discussion dekat mathematics. And then in my office, there was one boy who was doing mathematics. Harris, his name. So I asked him, how you all teach mathematics in your New Zealand classroom? So then I came across, pedagogical discourse, content discourse. Then we look at it from a language perspective. Itu ialah for the academic part of my study. But my study also look at the social component in the classroom. Misalnya, the student, the teacher said, oh, itu zero kenapa ada tail? Tetapi zero itu di atas dia, student itu tulis macam terlajak sikit. So, atas means must be hair, not tail. So, one student corrected, teacher, that is hair, not tail. Then apa yang buat? Then tiba-tiba the student tutup the mulut. The teacher look at the student and then cara apa yang berlaku di dalam classroom. So bila saya tulis my thesis, saya tak boleh kata the student corrected the teacher's English. So I kena look at conversation analysis or the student initiated a language repair. So I was looking at what is happening in the classroom when you just tukar satu element, the medium of instruction. The medium of instruction is modified and it is modified and altered. So saya nak letak my language learning theories on this thesis, tak boleh. I nak letak the mathematic learning theories, tak boleh, because I'm not a maths person. So finally I decided I'm going to use Vygotsky's theory or concept of mediation. So that is why I have mediating in my title, because whether you are a maths teacher or language teacher, you need language to get the content across. So what is happening when you use this modified, altered language kan? So you are mediating the word because you still need to teach the content of mathematics, but you are mediating the world, the social world in the classroom, the academic world. So that is where it is like intertwined, interdiscipline kind of thing. So I have to write in the middle. You know, I cannot say that this is fully a language thesis or is a fully a mathematics thesis. It is in between, one of the studies that intertwine both disciplines together. So that is why the concept of mediation. If you Google my name, you can get the whole thesis from the Google if you want to read. So I've put it as, you know, investigating concepts, you know, I wrote the whole thing like a story. Because, you know, one of the things that I learned in English is you want to tell the truth, you tell your story. So I was telling the whole thesis is like a story from a maths teacher's perspective, looked by an English lecturer.
Dr. Assunta guna metodologi kualitatif ke? Kajian kes?
Qualitative, yes.
Kajian kes lah.
Qualitative, yes.
Okay. Okay, ada soalan ni berkaitan
Dr. Just one more. So I actually observed 5 cikgu kan. Both the 5 cikgu mengajar matematik. Then I deleted 3 teachers and I only took 2 teachers. 2 teachers yang ajar matematik. Same unit, that is on length. The unit on length. Dan unit on length, bila kita belajar the unit on length, you have a conversion of units, that means centimeter to meter, meter to centimeter, millimeter, you know, that kind. You have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, problem solving. My whole thesis is only on the first part. Sikit saja, conversion of units. So saya tengok all the language yang diguna for the conversion of units. I didn't look at multiplication, subtraction, addition, tambah, tolak, all that tak ada. Problem solving tak ada. Just the language used for the conversion of units. So both the teachers, I analyze that part, I zoom in, I go in depth. Just on the language used from the conversion of units from centimeter to meter, meter to millimeter, you know, that kind of thing. Just that. So what I'm telling you is sometimes kita tak perlu data yang banyak-banyak. But it's the data that you have and how deep you go. So when I look at the data, I look at it from a language perspective and from a maths pedagogical perspective. Just conversion of units sahaja. Didn't look at anything else. So sometimes it's not the amount of data you have, but the depth that you go to look at that.
Betul lah, itulah pendekatan kualitatif. Bila kita nak tu buat PhD ni, kita pada permulaan memanglah kita nampak macam banyak sangat. Sebenarnya kita kena kecilkan lagi skop, tetapi kita kena mendalam. Yang mendalam itulah yang kita perlukan observation. Observation tu pun kena tengok, teliti. Pasal dalam kelas tu kan, barulah kita boleh dapat data.
Yes.
Tu memanglah saya pun buat kajian berkaitan dengan kualitatif, it's not easy walaupun actually kita punya peserta kajian 2 atau 3 orang ke 5 orang, tetapi dia punya banyak angle yang kita nak tengok Okay, ada satu lagi soalan daripada Sri Sakura. Dia katakan bagaimana doktor boleh apply scholarship tu dan ada limited tak?
Okay, that scholarship, masa tu saya bekerja dengan English Language Teaching Center. That's a scholarship that came through the surat siaran to my college. So that one you apply directly, but you must apply for cuti belajar from our KPM. Yeah, so that one is interesting because you compete not in Malaysia, you compete with people in the worldwide range. So it's interesting that they take, you know, it's just your luck. So I guess I was very lucky. But in a way, I also think that maybe God wanted me to go to New Zealand, because when I was in New Zealand, saya memang, you know, very committed with my work, but I also joined my church activity. I joined the university activity. So one of the things that we do in our church activity is we go to all these hospital homes, and then people who are in rest homes, people who are living alone. So I remember going with my church member. He's 74 years old. So I go and do this volunteer service. Tapi saya pergi sekali seminggu saja because other time you need work kan. So this is a 97-year-old lady tinggal seorang dalam flat. So kita pergi sekali seminggu. Saya pergi mop lah, vacuum her apartment, clean the kitchen, wash her bathroom, toilet. My church member will take the list and go and buy the grocery. I do her laundry. I hang up the clothes and all that. And then we visit hospital home. Ramai yang sakit teruk-teruk, tetapi positive. Their mindset is so positive. So I also go to hospice there because part of our charity work, go and discuss, go and visit them, talk to them like that. So when I sendiri kena, it was like, hey, takkan I nak give up? I dah jumpa so many people di sana yang lagi teruk keadaan saya. Dari segi health, and then no family support, some terbiar sahaja. So that gives you the motivation and the strength, to help you finish your PhD.
Okay. Dr. Assunta, ada Puan Rosmawati minta email. Nanti boleh saya tuliskan dekat ni dekat.
Boleh. Can, no problem.
Okay. Puan siapa ni? Tarishni ada soalan, silakan.
Yes, Tarish.
Hi, Dr.
Hi. Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's a very fantastic journey that you have gone through, and it's very inspiring as well.
Yes.
My question to you, Dr. Assunta,
Yes.
what is your take on those students who are actually embarking their journey in this coming semester, just getting the scholarship and then
Okay.
getting through the PhD? Thank you so much.
No problem. I think that is what I would like to tell you about. Remember, it is exciting, yet it is tough. It is excitingly tough. You will find it exciting because you are actually going to research new areas that you don't know, learn about many new things that you don't know. Okay, memang it is very exciting, but remember it is tough. So you need to be mentally prepared. Sometimes you will, cry, oh, why am I not getting the feedback? Why am I not getting this supervision? Why am I not getting this? My friend is so lucky. But all those are little things that will come your way, but don't get distracted. And another one I would say is, if you are going to start your studies, make yourself a routine. Very important to have a routine. So if like 5 days, if you have been working now, you go to work from let's say 1 to 3 o'clock, make sure that 1 to 3 o'clock you go somewhere else. Okay, somewhere else where you will have your dedicated space to sit down and do your work. So as I said, sometimes I don't have any idea. So I just sharpen my pencil, do my filing. Sometimes I will just sit down and watch YouTube, but I will go. I will not stay at home and say, okay, this is my lazy day. I got no mood to write today. Cannot. You go, because sometimes you will also find that you may not have the mood, but others want to talk to you about their work. Listen, because some of their ideas will help you. I used to go for all the seminars that was held in all the 2 schools, right? So one of the, another PhD student, Brian King, he was doing about virtual chat room. He said the virtual chat room is like a physical room. People go in and chat and come out. So he was talking about language and space and discourse and, ecology of the classroom. I said, kalau dia boleh buat begitu for his virtual room, kenapa I cannot look at it from the classroom? So I went back and looked at my own journey, classroom. I said, betul juga, kenapa the teacher suddenly feel affronted because the student correct her English? Padahal the teacher's space in the classroom is so little at the front, but the space of the students is bigger. Walaupun the space of the student is bigger, that little space at the front holds authority. So when the student corrected, she is going against the grain. She is going against. So you get idea to look at your own data differently. Like for example, I was worried, how am I going to talk about the student, the social classroom, social aspect of the classroom? How am I going to talk about how to, report it? I don't want to report it, student correct teacher. It's not fair because the teacher is not trained to teach in English. So how am I going to do it? So I attended this talk in the psychology department. They were looking at conversation analysis. So I borrowed that, and one of the things that they talk about in conversation analysis is initiate language repair. So I use that. So what happens is, when you are embarking on your journey, remember, have a strict schedule, talk to people about your work, and also let people talk to you about their work so that you get more ideas. Sometimes you feel, "Ayo, this is wasting time, I'm not listening." But what is making you to do is think critically about their work, because you want to give critical comments. If you're able to give critical comments for other people's work, when you look at your own work, you become more critical about your work. So it becomes like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of thingy. So when I started going for all these group discussions in all the various, so sometimes they tell me, "Hey, Assunta, I remember reading this article about something like your work, wait, I'll send you the article." So I get articles, I get name of books. So sometimes when I go, I say, "I don't know, I'm stuck. Anybody has got any book that I can refer to?" Then they start telling me the names of books, because, they have heard other people talk. So don't let it be a lonely journey. It has to be, you are with a community of learners. It is excitingly tough, but I would love to do another PhD if I can.
Ya, Dr. Assunta, memanglah perjalanan ujian yang dihadapi Dr. Assunta tu memang berat. Untuk perkongsian dengan rakan-rakan semualah yang ada di sini, kita kena disiplin dirilah semasa belajar. Macam saya pun dulu, sebagaimana yang Dr. Assunta kata, tak boleh duduk seorang. Kita tak boleh belajar di rumah.
Yes.
Walaupun sekarang ni tak belajar di rumah, tapi kena spend masa. Contohnya macam saya dulu, 8 sampai 5 saya kena pergi ke library UKM. Buat kerja ke, belajar ke, tak kerja ke, menulis ke, tak menulis ke, saya tetap pergi ke library. Kadang-kadang saya pergi library, keluar daripada rumah pagi, lepas tu saya cari-cari jurnal, lepas tu saya tidur.
Betul.
Saya tulis 2 muka surat, lepas tu besoknya saya tengok balik tulisan tu, saya delete balik. Yes. Tapi kena disiplin lah, rutin.
Yes.
Tak boleh dekat rumah, pasal memanglah sebagaimana Dr. Assunta, dia diuji dengan kesihatan, tetapi kita dewasa ini dengan diuji dengan di rumah,
berbagai tanggungjawab di rumah.
Di rumah, so kena, itulah saya kata, you kena tabah lah, seperti tajuk yang tadi ni, kena cekal kena cekal dengan tajuk tajuk yang bertepatan, tetap cekal lah Jadi kita kena, and then pada masa yang sama kita kena ada contact, community dengan rakan-rakan yang sama belajar juga. Itu boleh membantu kita.
Yes.
Siapa yang buat PhD, even saya pun nak pilih metodologi tu, kuanti ke kuali, saya nangis dulu. Yang A kata ni, yang B kata ni, yang C kata ni, yang kehabisan saya sendiri yang kena decide, pasal kita yang nak buat research dan kita yang nak tulis. Bukannya supervisor, bukannya rakan-rakan. Kita hanya berdapat je feedback tu. Tetapi kita punya decision sendiri. Itulah masa bila decision tu menangis sangat. Pasal bukannya menangis kena marah ke apa. Menangis tak tahu nak decide which one. Jadi itulah. Saya rasa rakan-rakan yang sekarang ni pun ada banyak pengalaman lain. Okey, Dr. Hairul, silakan, ada soalan?
Okey, saya memang suka bertanya lah sebab
boleh.
Dr. Assunta ni antara inspiration saya lah untuk saya siap PhD. Saya percaya semua orang ada kenangan ataupun problem dalam pengajian PhD ni, masing-masing adalah. This is not a tabu. Orang panggil tabu tu, kalau orang buat PhD mesti akan berlaku problem. I tak pernah fikir pun begitu. Tapi when I start my PhD, memang halangan dan cabaran tu sangat besar. And then bila saya habis Viva, memang sangat menangis lah. So I nak tanyalah pengalaman Dr. Assunta, apabila dah settle Viva, bila dah dikatakan congratulations, pass, dan sebagainya, apa yang doktor rasa? Mungkin boleh kongsikan dengan semua orang. Silakan.
Thank you, Dr. Hairul. I think the first thing I did was I cried. I flew to 10 hours. I went to Wellington, got ready. I flew on Saturday. I reached there. Monday was my Viva. When the whole thing finished, I just hugged my friend, because you can bring one support person. I cried. I really cried, because it was like, I did it. I finally did it. So, and it was so inspiring, didn't give up. So I think if you happen to read my PhD thesis, I think it's the only thesis with 3 pages of acknowledgement. And I told my supervisor, I cannot. They say, Assunta, are you crazy? You want to put 3 pages? I said, I cannot leave anyone I only finished this journey because of all those champions behind me, championing me and, not letting me give up, from cooking food for me by church members, by PhD students, my Malaysian friends there, my Malaysian family, there, all my Malaysian friends. I tell you, it was an enriching journey, and it is so inspiring. It is really inspiring. If I have done it, it's not just because of me alone doing it. It's because, like what Dr. Masitah said, the community of learners together with you, the support person around you. And when you have this community of learners and support person, you feel malu to give up. You want to carry on. So I find that very good. I know Dr. Hairul also shared with me his difficult journey. You may face challenges. We pray that you will not face challenges. You may face. Even if you face the challenges, rise above it. Don't let the challenges pull you down. I think that's what many of us can really share. Kan, Dr. Masitah?
Okay, kita buka satu lagi soalan sekiranya ada sebelum kita tamatkan sesi bincangan. Semua ni nak dapatkan inspire daripada Dr. Assunta yang saya rasa memang tough lah. Memang dia boleh menghadapi dan merealisasikan kedua-dua kesihatan dan pendidikan ni. Ada soalan lain lagi? Ni? Sekiranya nak perlukan tips untuk motivasi yang masih tak bergerak ke, yang masih start dengan tajuk ke, sedangkan kita tengoklah, kita ambil inspire Dr. Assunta yang tadi
I think, Dr. Masitah, very important to keep talking about your work. When you keep talking, you will not be stagnant. Kalau kita tak stagnant, then it will move. Sometimes moves fast, sometimes slow, but keep talking about it.
Okay, link kehadiran pun dah ada. Boleh isikan link kehadiran, tetapi saya bagi peluang lagi untuk last soalan sebelum kita tamatkan sesi.
I think I see Catherine.
Okay, Catherine, silakan. Catherine.
Do you have any questions, Catherine?
I don't have any question, but I'm so touched.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, actually, it was not just my journey. It was a journey of people with me for my PhD. So remember, it is excitingly tough, but it's exciting. And when you finish, when you hold the thesis in your hand, when it's done, I tell you, you feel like out of this world experience. Yeah.
I know. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, di sini di bahagian chatting ada dua link. Satu link berkaitan dengan soal selidik budaya dan satu lagi ialah link kehadiran. Bolehlah untuk diisikan. Ada lagi ke soalan? Syabas Dr. Assunta yang saya nampak dia, kita tengok macam lembut tapi sebenarnya dia very tough lah. Okay, Cik Abdul Rahman, silakan.
Ada soalan, saya ni umur dah 58 tahun tapi belum sambung PhD lagi. Sesuai tak kalau saya mula sambung?
Yes, I totally agree with you. The office space yang saya ada, because in New Zealand they got no age limit for working, so you can go on. So the lady beside my room, she was doing early childhood education. Dia mula PhD dia pada umur 80 dan dia tamat PhD dia pada umur 84. And I went there just before she graduated. She only started at the age of 80. I still remember, she was our inspiration. She said, you young, kita rasa kita dah tua kan. I went there around when I was 42. She said, you young, you can do some more. You got half my age to catch up for your PhD. So don't give up. Do a PhD, do small bite size. Give yourself small bite size steps to take. But you can. The important thing is the interest. Nobody can take it away from us.
Betul Cik Ghaffar, Abdul Ghaffar. Boleh saja walaupun katalah Cik Ghaffar dah nak pencen ke apa. Jangan kerana kita buat PhD kerana untuk sesuatu insentif apa ke. Just sebagai satu kepuasan bagaimana kita nak merasai sendiri. Pasal for those kawan-kawan kita yang dah merasai, yang ada doctorate, dia ada pengalaman tersendiri. Walaupun Cik Ghaffar katalah nak pencen ke apa ke, ambil peluang lah. Ambil peluang kalau berminat. And then buat simple research yang kata orang tu tetapi bermakna lah.
Betul. We don't need something very big.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr.
No worries.
Tanya, ada semangat teruskan.
Yes. So now I'm very
Dr.
active.
Masitah.
Saya, Dr. Said Ismail, silakan.
Okay, Dr. Assunta, sorry. Nak respon juga pada Cik Gafar kita tadi. Dia kata umur 58 tapi masih belum mula lagi lah. Ini nak kongsi pengalaman juga. Waktu saya buat master dulu untuk makluman Cik Gafar, dalam kumpulan saya tu ada 5-6 orang tu. Ada seorang tu, dia grad, pada tarikh kami grad itu, 3 bulan lagi dia pencen. Itu master tu. Okay, pada tarikh kami grad, dia 3 bulan lagi akan pencen. Itu pun dia tamatkan, habiskan juga untuk buat master dia. Jadi ni mungkin sedikit sebanyaklah kok boleh merangsang Cik Gafar untuk meneruskan perjuangan. Terima kasih.
Okay, terima kasih. Very inspiring.
Tak, kalau kita nak dapatkan pengalaman tu kita kena lalui lah. Okey, silakan Dr. Faizal, sekiranya nak ada soalan.
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera.
Ya.
Pertama-tama syabas dan tahniah kepada Dr. Assunta. Untuk nak memberi motivasi kepada Cik Abdul Ghaffar. Saya belajar pada usia 42 tahun.
Wah.
Umur 50 tahun baru habis Cik Ghaffar. 8 tahun. Cik Ghaffar 8 tahun. Seorang sahabat saya sama belajar dengan saya pada ketika itu, tetapi pada ketika itu beliau sudah 46 tahun. Dan Dr. Said cakap tadi 3 bulan lagi nak pencen lah.
Ya.
Sahabat saya ni selepas 3 bulan bersara baru graduate. Jadi itu salah satu.
Terima kasih Dr. Faizal, doakan saya semoga berjaya dan doktor-doktor lain.
Amin. Ingat Cik Ghaffar, saya 8 tahun tu. Saya
janji dapat.
Dr. Assunta cerita pengalaman dia dahsyat, tapi cerita saya lagi dahsyat.
Kita akan buka sesi untuk jemputan, satu jemputan daripada penceramah luar untuk motivasi. InsyaAllah kita akan buatlah pada tahun depan ke ataupun the next coming activity.
Saya mengajar di IBA.
Di IBA, okay.
Nearby. We are neighbours kan, Dr. Faizal.
Jadi kalau orang dengar cerita saya 8 tahun, orang dah boleh imagine betapa dahsyatnya nak menghabiskan, nak dapatkan sekeping budak yang bernama PhD.
Tanya Dr. Faizal kerana kuat semangat yang penting.
Taris ni satu saja, jangan malu. Kita ni jangan malu.
Betul.
Dan yang paling penting memang kena berkawan lah. Salah satu sebab saya lambat di awal-awal pengajian saya, kita tak berkawan. Kalau tak berkawan, you ada masalah. Dan Dr. Masitah cerita tadi, jangan cerita metodologi doktor. nak confirmkan tajuk pun dah 2 tahun. Nak confirm tajuk tau.
Betul.
Tapi ini bukan nak mematahkan semangat Cik Abdul Ghaffar. Tapi saya bagi tahu nak cari tajuk saja 2 tahun, saya harap Cik Ghaffar nanti cari tajuk 2 bulan cukup.
Dia Cik Ghaffar lagi dah berpengalaman, dia tajuk tu senang dah pasal dia banyak makan garam dah kan.
Tak boleh cakap juga Dr. Masitah. Ini semua defend pada kita punya supervisor, betul Dr. Kita cakap kita okey. Tapi bila dapat supervisor ni dia banyak kepala. Itu lagi satu masalah. Yang kepada bakal-bakal yang nak mengambil PhD tu, itu salah satu saya nak nasihatkan, memang betul-betul kena cekal dan semangat lah. Kena menghadapi, mendepani kita punya bakal supervisor.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Faizal. So yang lain-lain tu mungkin ada sesi sharing saya pun dah tak ingat tajuk kita bulan penyelidikan ini, mungkin ada yang berkaitan dengan bagaimana nak mewujudkan hubungan rapport dengan penyelia, pun satu topik yang bagus juga kepada rakan-rakan yang baru yang sedang belajar ini Okay, saya rasa ada lagi?
Assunta.
Ya.
Sikit saja lagi.
Boleh.
Saya punya tajuk, saya orang sukan.
Okay.
Saya punya tajuk TGFU.
What is that?
Game for Understanding.
Okay.
Buat pengetahuan Dr. Assunta, orang yang memperkenalkan tajuk itu berada di Universiti Otago.
I see.
So saya pergi ke sana.
Wow.
Yes.
New Zealand is such a lovely
Saya
place.
pergi ke sana, saya jumpa owner dan dia very appreciate lah dengan apa yang saya buat. Lepas tu dia dengar cerita, pada ketika tu saya sudah 7 tahun 5 bulan. So dia cabar saya, you make sure jangan lebih dari 8 tahun. Balik saja daripada Otago, 2 bulan siap.
Memang they celebrate knowledge.
Yes.
Everything they do, they really celebrate knowledge there.
Yes. Dan sure bila dia cakap tahniah anda lulus selepas Viva tu, kalau orang yang tak menangis saya tak tahulah orang tu jenis apa.
Semua PhD holder yang dah tamat akan menangis lah. Menangis kerana journey yang pelbagai.
Dan saya punya video tu ada divideokan di library UPSI. Saya menangis pun ada video tu. Dia bagi tahu ini contoh 8 tahun punya student. Okay, itu saja saya nak share.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Faizal. Saya rasa kita kita dah sampai ke hujung. Terima kasih kepada peserta-peserta yang ada dalam Google Meet ini kerana sudi mendengar ujian perjalanan Dr. Assunta yang sangat tough. Saya rasa pun kalau saya tak sehebat dia lah, tak boleh menempuh kehebatan dia yang diuji tetapi beliau sangat cekal. Okey, jadi terima kasih kepada peserta yang menanyakan soalan. Terima kasih juga kepada Dr. Assunta atas jawapan dan perkongsian. Itulah sudah selesai webinar kita pada petang ini. Saya Dr. Masitah ingin mengucapkan jutaan penghargaan sekali lagi kepada penceramah kita Dr. Assunta, peserta dan semua yang hadir. Mewakili pihak Rustia, saya mengucapkan selamat maju jaya, terus suburkan budaya penyelidikan dan terus cemerlang dalam semua bidang yang diceburi. Sekian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat petang. Terima kasih.
Thank you everyone. Thank you very much.
Dr. Assunta, Dr. Masitah.